big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
I'm gonna show you how to make hachee, the ultimate Dutch beef stew. This is what the Dutch legacy is built on. Dikes were built on this recipe. Beautiful paintings were made eating this recipe. Think about the Van Goghs. Think about the Nachtwacht. Think about all the beautiful things in the Netherlands. The windmills, the clogs, the dancing. Think about all the cheese that we're making. It is all made based on this food. But there's one big but. Dutch people have a culture problem. We're kind of in denial of our own culture. So we are on the opposite side of Italians. Yes, I know I'm not the right example, but if you take Italians, they're super proud of what they're doing. So for instance, they chop it in half and they bake it and they say, "This is the special Italian onion and only we can make it." That's not how Dutch people do it. We have a recipe and it's traditional Dutch. It's really typical Dutch. And then in the Netherlands we go like, yeah, but they got it everywhere. It's not really ours. That's what we do. We are in denial. We don't like it. Literally, look it up on Wikipedia. Dutch food. What does it say? Bland, tasteless. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna get my phone. I'm gonna show you. It literally says, Dutch cuisine inspired by agricultural past. It's typically made out of porridge, cheese, stews, pancakes, and more stews. That's our cuisine, seriously? That's what we write about ourselves? You think Italians think like that? It's the same thing. You had a risotto, it's a porridge. That's what it is. But no. If you say to an Italian that a risotto is a porridge, a rice porridge, he will freak out. However, in the Netherlands, if you say it's porridge, you say, yeah, it's a porridge. And even if it's better than porridge, they say, yeah, it's a porridge. We'll just mash it up, put a little bit of gravy on, that's it. Dutch people are crazy like that. We're denying our culture. And I'm gonna rectify it because we're gonna make ourselves proud again on our main stew, the one that built the Netherlands. I'm going to use a beautiful piece of beef chuck. That's absolutely perfect for stewing. It has the right ratio of fat to meat. And the first thing that I'm going to do is season this with salt and pepper. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to hit all sides and use plenty of it. The salt is going to elevate the flavors of the meat and the pepper is going to give it a little edge. Now it's time that I fire up my Napoleon grill. I fired up my kettle grill with a bit of charcoal. Then I took the embers from my fire with a little log and put them on the charcoal. That's going to give the meat smoke flavor, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because we as Dutch have a long tradition of smoking meat and fish. So what I'm going to do is put this on and add a smoking step to the cooking process. Most people don't add this step to the cooking process when they're making hachee, but I think it adds a lot of value. So that's why it's gonna be on our barbecue with extra flavor, and it's gonna be a big bonus. Steak has been smoking for 30 minutes and it picked up a good bit of smoke color. I'm gonna take it off the grill and set up the barbecue for direct cooking by moving the charcoal to the center and lowering the grill grate all the way to the lowest position. Now it's time to start slicing into onions. And hachee is all about onions, so I'm gonna slice 3 of them. Then I'm gonna set my pan directly over the fire. And this is where the Dutch do get specific. It has to be what we call a stew pan. In other countries, you call it a Dutch oven. In the pan, I'm gonna melt a big lump of real original Dutch butter. Then in go the onions and I'm gonna let them turn soft, after which I'm going to add the smoked chuck steak. And if it just about fits, that's how you know you have exactly the right amount. Now all I need to do is fill the pan up with beef broth, add a splash of red wine vinegar, a couple of bay leaves, and a few cloves. Then I'm gonna put on the lid and let this simmer for at least 3.5 hours. A quick check after 1.5 hours. We got a nice slow simmer and I probably have to add some charcoal, but we're well on the way. It's been simmering for 4 hours. And halfway through, I opened the lid a little bit so I can let some of the steam come out. And you see it's been reduced already by a lot. And look at that beautiful dark red color that we got on top. Watch this. It is so tender. I just have to move it and it already starts to fall apart. And that's exactly what this is. It's a beef stew. We need it to fall apart. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take the meat out and shred it up. It's so tender, you can cut it with your fork. It shreds like butter. Look at that. So tender. Absolutely beautiful. So you gotta get it all shredded up. And a little chunky monkey is just fine. And then put it back in and let it immerse into the beautiful juices of the meat. Look at that gorgeous smoke ring, by the way. You see that? That's insane. That's what you get for putting it on a barbecue. All that hard work and dedication, patience and effort is finally paying off. When you're making hachee, the ratio of liquid to meat is very important. As you can see, it's like one big pile of meat with a little bit of moisture. So that's what I'm looking for. It's not a soup. You should just have that little bit of sauce that it's floating in, but not more than that. And don't start adding starch like a little flour or whatever you're doing. Don't do that. Don't add potatoes. That's just a sign that you don't have enough meat in it. So buy enough meat. This was 2 kilograms and you're gonna be set. Now look at this. I'm gonna plate this up. We got some mashed potatoes and some red cabbage. And there we go. A little bit of that hachee on top. And that's gonna make every Dutch man happy. And it all starts with a big chunk of chuck steak. I let it smoke on my Napoleon Kettle Pro until I had a nice dark color on it. Then I heated up my Dutch oven with a lump of butter, some onion, put the meat in, added beef stew, some red wine vinegar, and most important, bay leaves and cloves. And the rest is history. And then 4 hours later, all I had to do was shred it. My mama will be so proud. This is real Dutch hachee. Now, of course, every Dutch family has their own recipe. They add things and over time, their recipe changes and, you know, another person adds to the family, start changing up the recipe again. But this is my version that I want to share with you.
And be happy again. Before I sat there, I set the rule, I'm not gonna eat that much. Gonna leave something for the rest. Completely changed my mind. Everybody needs this sometimes.
It's basically pulled beef, but so tasty. Together with that red cabbage, those mashed potatoes. They couldn't get more Dutch than this. Typical winter recipe.
You know, hard days, hard months, cold winters. You said to your wife, I'm gonna build my boy a tree house. And then you're standing outside in the rain, building that tree house. What you want to eat after that? This.
So you're building a tree house?
No, I don't have kids.
But you don't have, do you have the skills?
I don't even have a tree.
Oh.
Owning a tree in the Netherlands is a rare thing.
It's a rare thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you want to taste Dutch, this is Dutch. So go make this, experience the Netherlands, even if you live abroad.
Yeah, but if you want to see another Dutch recipe, check out this one.
No, this one. Is it here or is it there? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let us know. Big thank you to the patrons and the YouTube members. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then,
eet smakelijk.
And keep on
building afsluitdijk.
Yeah, but smoking hachee.
Smoking hachee. Building
hachee.
Building, creating.
That's a really double bottom right there.